Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 12 of the CCAU2G show. And today, our topic is going to be, what is a bad guy? Right? So, we got many images of what a bad guy is. Specifically, I'm going to talk about the African American culture of like what a bad guy is and what a bad guy isn't. By definition, a bad guy is someone who put others down, stirs up conflict, driven by insecurity, and use force. They can trick people into believing they are good in a sense by mimicking the external traits of confidence, but they use tactics to mask their aggression as leadership. So they use it as like fake confidence, exploiting vulnerability, portraying tough love, using superficial charm, which is humor, money, and looks. And we're going to talk about, how to spot the imposter. So the humor, money, and looks, in the Black culture, is really casted upon, the word ghetto. Ghetto, not by definition, but by sight is like dingy, dusty, dirty, or shiny, glamorous, and flavorful. But these are just eyewitnesses of what the term ghetto means. But in the term of like how they are bad is because they use their platform to push people down in a way that it's hurting their outside appearance, making them feel that they can't step out into the world and associate themselves with who they are, but they have to live by the stigma of what they should be, which is, wearing 24 karat gold plated jewelry, bust down grill. A bust down grill is just a metal that goes on the top and bottom piece of the mouth with full diamonds, tattoos everywhere, that have meaning, but the meaning could also be, related towards gang activity, also crime, which is, beyond the level of the interpretation of just putting ink on the skin. It's because they're portraying who they are to the world, and when they showcase it, they're saying, I am associated with this, right? And these people are known by the world as being bad. We have different gangs out here, Cheaty, Blood, Crip, Vice Lord, and other subordinates. But the weakest moment is when that individual does put themselves out there into the world and say, this is how you be successful, right? And that's the motivation that we have to observe as a community, and not encourage that, to be consistent for our growth as a community. Now, I am not the spokesman of the African American community. I am not the spokesman of the world, by far not. But little to none, this is almost bullying. And we can talk about, what is a bully and what is a alpha leader. An alpha leader, right, builds others, humans, up, conflict resolve, confident, secure, and protective. Okay? When you are faced in a position to where you have to actually observe what is going on, you have to keep emotional distance, right? Use direct eye contact, set short boundaries, and refuse to argue. Now, some of these points that I am mentioning are from the internet, but I kind of combined it with what is a bully with what is a bad guy, and then I added on a little sauce to what is a alpha leader, right? So moving forward, right, we have to have strategic documentation, write down details of what's going on, what's being said, keep physical evidence, note eyewitness, and store records privately, right? Build you a defense, recruit allies, report the behavior, not to the person, but to the masses, to whom it concerns. Seek professional support. If that bully is intimidating you to the point where you can't live your day-to-day life without turning on the radio or turning on Apple Music or turning on Spotify and getting put down because their words are coming in front of your vision, that's when you should seek professional support and know when to exit. It's okay to not listen to all the music that we have today. It's okay to not listen to all the influence. It's okay not to listen to me. It's okay to, seek professional support, especially when dealing with this type of behavior, because it is toxic and it does lead to denial of who you are and poor confidence in yourself. All right. So a bully and a bad guy, I feel like, are the same thing, even if the bad guy is just putting on that image, right? I'm not saying you can't be happy for yourself and what you buy, but it's also more verbal, what you say, than body motion and facial expression. Because one, body motion is not a language for people who can see, for people who can hear, for people with no disability. But when you're putting it in the world of saying body language, I'm unsure of what you're trying to say, because yes, I see your outfit looks very nice, but when you put words behind it by, associating me with a certain class or dissociating me with this class or segregating me or segregating you, or you feel segregated, that's when it becomes a point of you're bullying verbally. See, me personally, I can't take, someone standing like this as a language of what they're trying to say, because I could be standing like this observing the Mona Lisa, but I can also be standing like this on the block, with the same outfit on, and it's just the scene change, but my arms still folded. I can squinch up my face, like I did before, trying to read a screen, but I can also squinch my face when someone who, psychologically, that personally I would never do, but in this situation, I'm going to say that I would try, like, oh man, but nothing came out my mouth though. I'm looking like this, but nothing came out my mouth, right? So that's when the term bully can get associated with a bad guy. And a bad guy, the bad image, it's all mixed up, and we need to start dividing what is and what's not, because first, if someone looks at me like this, I can easily turn my head and not give them no attention. Or even better yet, I can just walk away. Because, at this age, I don't have to give you business, right? Okay. Second, body language. If someone stands at me like this, I can do the same tactic. Tactics can fight tactics. But in this world of reality, business is success. Period. Whether you're minding your own business, you're supporting the business, you're building the business, that's all. So I don't see how we associate this bully, right, with just being a plain, mean, big guy. But we also have this type of community in our African American community where this bad guy, this bad image, right, can come out and say, hey, I'm not no bully. Okay, but what are you going to say after you come out looking like that? But also, I can come out like this, right, and put myself out there. I can come out like this and put myself out there the same way the bad guy does. But, the larger picture of it, person who doesn't put themselves out there usually doesn't get harmed. That's true. Okay? So, how do we spot the imposter? We watch their subordinates. We look at the weakest. We check the consistency. We observe the motivation. Right? And those are the 4 that the researchers suggest. And I didn't know how this affects me day to day until I did the research. And I combined the 2 and said, yeah, that's right. But what I'm saying can be applied to any community, any race, any sex, any gender, anything. It's research, right? But this research is what helps you stay safe. So how do you stay safe, right? You build your defense. You recruit allies. You report the behavior. Seek professional support and know when to exit, right? That's all, folks. Hey, I appreciate y'all for tuning in to episode 12 of the CCAU2G show, where we're just trying to make you be a better person. Not change you, but make you be a better person. Thank you.